I would say, "Hey, yeah, cancel my Netflix." I was like, "Oh, sir, why are you canceling?" The Last House is why I'm canceling. This is what y'all putting up.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again here at Matinee Social, where you, our ticket holders, will join us as we discuss the Netflix sci fi thriller, The Last House. Now, this had a release date of August 7th on Netflix, and basically it starts out with a regular community, nice, quiet community. And then things kind of change a bit when it decides to, or it ends up raining um, in said community. And basically, the rain isn't rain. You kind of find that out a little bit later on, but just to get this thing going, you find out the rain isn't rain. It's kind of a sealant in a sense on these people's homes. So Cass, I'm gonna let you take it from there.
Yeah, this movie was directed by Louis Lederer. One of the things that he directed that I did not mind, it was like I thought that was like mildly enjoyable for what it was Now You See Me. It was like a bunch of magicians stealing stuff. I had no problem with that. It was like interesting concept, whatever. This being this rains and you're trapped in the house by a bunch of Cthulhu's or whatever the hell it is. I did not care for this movie. It's like I did not like it. It was like I had still had questions. It was one of those things as I was watching it, I started doing other stuff. I was like, you know what? Now we're into this. And it was like, and this is almost 2 hours, about 45 minutes or an hour into it, rather. I was like, you know what? It was like, let me start working on my taxes for next year. It was like, let me call that up and start working on that. It was like, you know what? It was like, what else am I doing? My phone looks a little weird. Let me start messing around with that. And there was stuff happening on the screen. I looked up and everything else, but it was like it did not hold my interest. There was certain
Ooh.
things like why was the dad so mad? It was like he seemed like he was mad all the time. Even when he was trying to have fun with the kids, he seemed annoyed at them. Did he not choose his family? Was it like him and his wife having some kind of problem? Was there some kind of tension there that he wanted another kid and she was like, "No, I'm done having kids." It was like that's it. It was like, but he seemed agitated. These kids would ask a question to do something, and first that word out of his mouth was basically like, "Shut up! What are you talking about?" The little
That's
girl
not what
said,
he did.
"I saw somebody outside." He's like, "You ain't seen nobody outside. We can't get outside. There ain't nobody outside." You didn't think to like ask her some more questions. What do you mean you saw somebody outside? It was like I saw one of the things, or I saw a person outside. Well, what did they look like? Oh, I'm drawing them in my book, and it was like, are you sure this is what they look like? You're in an unprecedented situation. First thing you're going to do because she ate, you dismissing it. It was like, what the hell is that? First of all, second, the son, as you do a little time skip because 5 years later we're
Five
still stuck
years,
in
right?
the house, and then the son when there was a scene, ladies and gentlemen, where one of the Cthulhu things was in the house, and then the son sees us, everybody's hiding from it,
Well,
and
wait.
then the
Okay,
dude's
that
like,
one.
all right. It's like, he gets the call and he's like, oh, we leaving this house because we don't see nothing. All right, we about to be out. And then the dumbass teenage son tries to go outside. Prior to this, a few years earlier, he saw the jogger that was stuck outside. And what happened to her? Did he think he was going to go outside, get some fresh air, and he was going to be all right? It was like, was he just trying to? It was like, you know what? I can't stay trapped in this house with these people no more. They're crazy. I just need to get out of here. I don't feel like there was any build up for him to try and, commit this Harry Carey that he was trying to do for running outside because that's what it was. He'd have ran outside. They would have started tearing into him. What are you going to do? Ask mom and dad for help? It was like, oh, wait, I stepped outside and I shouldn't have. I was just so stupid or overcome with stuff. It was like, what? So, like, there was that was a problem. There was
Okay.
another scene later again in the movie because again I looked up and I was doing other stuff, but then the mom was going because the daughter, as we hunting for food and trapping squirrels and stuff.
Oh my
I got
God.
a ferret. Oh, let pet the ferret. The wild animal that's been outside is like, get off me. He bites her. Of course, she gets rabies or
Of
starts showing
course.
that. And then they got to go to the dentist house across the way. They figure out how to do that through the sewers. Instead of the mom
Hmm.
finding the medicine, throwing it in the bag as the dad's telling her, it's starting to rain. You need to come back. She's like, oh, let me call out the names of all the medication. Just grab all of the pills
Right.
and come back home. We can go back. We know how to get in there. What are
Right.
you doing?
Right.
It's just like there was enough
This
frustration. Even as I'm doing my 2027, 2028 taxes, and
it,
this movie is going in the background, I'm getting frustrated looking up to see some of this nonsense. And then we're not staying in the house anymore. We're going fishing. I'm open the door and it was like catch one of these things. And that was the nice one that the girl was telling you about before.
yeah.
Then she has to tell you. So if you would have listened to her when she was 8, you probably could have figured some shit out. Got not only yourselves, but your neighbors out of the house. But because you dismissed this kid out of hand that she's 8 and she don't know what she's talking about. I've been in this situation before type of stuff. It's like, no, you have not been in this situation before. It was like, this is new to all of us. You need to be taking in as much information as possible from anybody. At this point, nothing's too crazy. Nothing too crazy. So it was just like that movie was a lot, but I didn't understand. It's like, why is he so mean? And
So
then
to
the
me,
creatures themselves, why are we locked in here? It was like, what
the
is this?
creatures,
It was like,
the
what's going on?
creatures reminded me of oh gosh, I'll think of the movie in a minute. But this movie as a whole reminded me of Quiet Place in a sense, especially when the creatures did come into the home and they were hiding from it and they had to be quiet and all that jazz, and they had to close the curtains every time it started to rain because that's when they would come and basically hunt or whatever. But I think in part he was angry because he couldn't do anything right. Remember that scene where where she ended up going across the street and getting the medication for the daughter. He was, so to backtrack for a minute, when they get caught or in the house, they try initially they think it's like not going to be that long, because even at one point the wife was like, oh, we don't have to pay our mortgage, this month or whatever. And they do a lot of movies and a lot of shows and they replay it over and over and over again. Annie was one of them, I believe. And so they do that for a little while to try and keep everybody entertained and things of that nature. And, they start to run out of food. And the father's ingenuity, he ends up doing like a trap, basically, that he rigs going out of the chimney flue, going out of the chimney over the side of the house. And he, builds a trap that will snap anytime there's an animal that goes to it or whatever, and he drags it back in. So he's doing everything that he can, in his mind, to keep his family safe and surviving.
But I feel like he was mad before that. It was like even before they was trapped in the house. It was like they was eating, they were like trying to have a regular dinner. I think he had attitude from the jump. So it's like you came home from fishing and it was like, oh, I had to throw this fish back because it was too small. Are you mad because you didn't catch a friggin' largemouth bass or something off of the pier? Why are you angry? He was like, why are you so bad?
But the scene where he's trying to get medication for the daughter, right before that, the wife is like, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. And then when he tries to start tearing the house apart, now she's like, wait a minute, you're doing too much. Pause.
Like she was maybe that's why he was mad, because she was all over the place. It was like, maybe you're doing too much. Now you're not doing enough. Yeah. He's like, what do you want me to do? You know what? This match is over. You lucky we trapped in this house because I don't know that. I was like, that's it. It's like I can't with you. What's going on? So like I don't know. Like I said, it's like he felt like he was too mad from the jump, and it was like you didn't explain whether he was an out of work scientist and couldn't find a job, and that's why he was fishing. Mm-hmm. And she was winning. She was the one bringing in all the bread, and he felt emasculated because he wasn't doing that. Like I don't know. It was like I felt there was. For the way that he was acting, there seemed like there was something missing. And it was just like, like some kind of like, all right, well, his personality is he's just loud. It was like, maybe that was the thing. It's like, hey, it was like, our friends always say you're super loud and you're super excitable. or something. But I feel like there was
Mhm.
just something. There was a small thing that just seemed to be missing. And normally,
Mhm.
certain things like that don't bother me
Mhm.
in some things, but for whatever reason with this, it was like I don't know whether it was the actor and like yeah, making movies is hard and everything ain't
Mhm.
gonna
Mhm.
work for everybody else. But at the same time, it's like his motivation is how he was playing this role. It's like for me, it didn't work, and I was just like, dude, why are you mad? It was like you mad before you trapped in the house. It was like what's going on?
Well, I didn't see. I saw yes that he was angry. I didn't see him angry in the beginning. I would say I'll go back and watch. I'm not watching this
Mm-mm.
again. I am so sorry. That's
Like I
not going
said,
to happen.
it could just be my impression. It could just be
Right.
his line delivery. It could be just like the accent that he was working with.
Yeah.
But for
Hmm.
me, it just felt like he was mad, and it's like, why are you mad?
Well, it's I just think the situation ultimately, if I go off of how I perceived it, ultimately the situation that they were put in was, aside from these things being able to open the doors, come in and hunt, and stand and all of that jazz. If they were just, there, um, and being caught in the house without any food, things of that nature. It was an impossible situation. And they were trying to overcome, like they had a harvest inside of the house, which got ultimately destroyed by salt water. Their fresh water got destroyed in the house again by,
All it showed me is that I'd be dead in a week. It
oh
was
my
like I'd be done in a
goodness.
week. It was like I
Good
ain't got,
Lord.
it was like, oh, I hadn't done a chance to go shopping yet, but I can't get out of the house. So that means it's like whatever I got in here, I either got to ration out or go from there and hopefully the power stays on. It's like, up, all the food is gone. So what am I gonna do is like I can't grow anything. I don't have any dirt in here. This is a problem. And it was like, and I can't bust the windows out to get outside. So, oh, it's raining. Let me close all the curtains so they don't know I'm in here and they can't see
Hmm.
me. Oh, whoops. I was like, I don't make no difference. They can't see me because I'm hungry and everything else. I'm like, I ain't got no food.
Mm.
I'm eating pieces of the friggin' couch. So I guess that's great now. It's like, I would have been, it was like, that would have been a wrap for me in a week. It was like, all right, well, this is it. This is it for
Oh,
me, guys. That's
well,
it.
I think for me, the most sincere part of the movie, and it's the only part that I'll give him credit for, was when the little girl started to lose her mind because she wanted more food. And mom's like, there's no more food. And there's like everybody has a moment. Husband, wife, the two kids, the wife even, I think she was so weak, she started to pass out. This was before they began to harvest their food. But the little boy went into his room and filleted his own fish. That was so
That would
sad.
have been the first thing we doing. Where's Benny? Where's your fish, Benny? It was like, remember I told y'all how to fillet a fish? Get that fish out here. Just sticks and likes, everybody. Benny is the
No,
first to go. It was like, yeah, so
no.
yeah, no. It was like a thanks but no thanks movie. And it was
Yeah.
like, and it made it worse because, like I said, I think I had told you, I thought it was the end of Oak Street, the dinosaur movie. Initially, I thought that was what was winning on Netflix, and then when I found out that it was this movie, that was like that was disappointment stage one, and then it was like after watching it, that was disappointment stage two. So it was just like,
God.
so yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this movie. I'm sure it has its fans. I'm sure there were people that enjoyed the tension, the family dynamic, and all of that other stuff, but I was not that person. This movie was not. It was not.
Yeah, it wasn't. While I said it reminded me to some degree of Quiet Place, it wasn't as good as Quiet Place at all. And
I wouldn't even give it
it,
that credit. It would be like this is like the we have quiet place at home type of movie for me. It was like this was
well,
one of those things where like I understand your premise, but then the other thing too was like I feel there was I appreciate what they tried to do where initially is the sea came back, we kind of reclaimed stuff.
mhm,
You don't know what's happening because you got no communication on the outside.
mhm,
So you're just kind of speculating. on what's
Mhm.
happening right now.
Mhm.
So it's like, it rained a lot, the seas rose up. So thank God we got a boat. First of all, I'm not trusting that boat. I'm not getting in that thing. That was like,
You don't
I'm
have
not getting
anything else to do because did you see how high the water was? They were in Seattle. It was up
I
to
was
the
like,
Space Needle, up to
Dad,
the top of it.
can we make sure this boat is sound? It was like, you want to have us in the middle of the space where space flat and this thing is sinking? I'm not, no. It was like, we
Whatever.
gonna need to sound this boat. I'm not jumping in this thing from the gate. And then what we gonna do for food? It was like, yeah, her friend told everybody to let us go,
Yeah.
but who's
Now
to
you
say that
ask me.
the one dude is like, why do we let those people go? It was
That's
like,
what
did you
I
see that? It was
said.
like, we can come back. And then are you the only ones that they let go? Or it was like, hey, you know what? Humanity's all right. We're gonna go back to the ocean where we were. It
You
was
know,
like,
when they were walking away, they were like, if I catch you out here by yourself when that was
right.
not
And it was
around,
like, I would
it's
have
yeah,
immediately
it
turned
wasn't
around.
popping.
You out here by yourself. Get him. And he was like, no, wait. There are people. It was like, were you the king? It was like, are we
Right.
listening to you? It was like, oh,
Right.
they let me go. They spared me. It was like, well, how about those dudes in Detroit? They ain't sparing nobody. That was
Spared
like,
me.
we,
Did you
we,
see
we
the
rolled
beat
up
down
on
that
there.
they gave him?
Yeah, it was like we rolled up on those people in Detroit. And they shot Ted right in his right in one of his eyes. It was like Ted is out there, dead now. So we sparing everybody, or was it just them? It was like, what are we doing? It was like there's just like it was a focused narrative,
Mm-hmm.
which I get. It was like you're not gonna have all of the answers and stuff, and that's totally fine. But I
Mm-hmm.
think I would have cared less if I felt everything was executed better.
Yeah,
And I
I
don't
agree.
feel, at least for me, I don't feel that it was an entertaining ride for the almost 2+ hours of it.
Well,
So
the
when
way that it ended, it looked
an
like
hour in,
there's
I started doing other stuff.
the way that it ended, it looked like they left room for the potential of a part two.
Hopefully not. It was like if they do numbers and they can get a sequel, I won't be there. It was like more power to people that, like I said, there are people I'm sure that seen it and enjoyed it and had a great time with it and were
Mm-mm.
on the edge of their seat, thrill ride for it. I was not one of those individuals, and this was not one of those movies that I would say, "Hey, yeah, cancel my Netflix." I was like, "Oh, sir, why are you canceling? The Last House is why I'm canceling. This is what y'all putting up. I don't need to be here for this." It's not that type of movie for me, but
Hey,
at the same time, like if I could have watched something else, I guess.
yes,
And,
you could have.
yeah, so yeah.
We both could have.
Yeah.
However,
So audience, this is strike one.
this
Nobody suggested this, but this is strike one.
anyway, that is our take on The Last House. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take the time to like, share, subscribe. Hey, if y'all have watched 4 of these episodes of our show, please like, share, subscribe. Anyway, cheers, guys. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.